I lost the tab. Sorry.
It's one of those days.
It is. It so is. So, welcome to another Breaking the Block where we have way too many tabs open on our computer screen and in our brains. But we try to help other creatives.
Try.
Y'all signed up for this. So. All right. So, Skye, if you want to introduce yourself, then we'll swing over to Rach and we'll start from there.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name of SD Haggis, and I'm awake. I got home like less than 5 minutes ago from dropping off my husband and my oldest in town for various things. So,
And you were up all night too.
pretty much, yeah. I was up until like 2:30 in the morning, and it's 9 o'clock now.
So for me, it was 4:30. I got up. I came in here. I started working, and I was gonna flip over to them, and they were doing sprints, and I was like, oh, I missed them by like 15 minutes.
But yeah, that's me.
All right, I am Rachel D. Adams. I have a co-author named Dawn McClelland. I'm not sure if she's going to show up today or not. I'm hoping she gets some sleep. But I write urban fantasy, paranormal with sprinkles of paranormal romance. I'm working also on a side project that is horror, and I love to help other authors. So I'm here, and I've got a JoJo who's trying to pull me somewhere else.
I have banished Kona to the couch for now, so she will probably tap herself in here in a few seconds. But for those of you who do not know me, hi, I am Sam Wicker. I have 5 books published, and they range anywhere from dark romantic comedy, fantasy, to fantasy erotica. Yeah, and everything is adult, very adult, because I do scenes on the page. And I like it that way because it's me. We have Eva. Eva says, my family let me sleep in today. It's flying by for me. I haven't done anything, but it's already breaking the block time. It's all right. We got you. All right. So, I've got a couple of questions that might hit a little hard. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But the first one we have is, how do you come up with a why you do this? My why I had is no longer relevant and I'm flailing.
Why writing?
Mm-hmm.
Or trying to do? Mine's boring. What do y'all got?
Mine has honestly never changed. It's the fact that I've got story ideas in my head that won't leave me alone, so I have to write them down, even if it's just for me. And I hit that point in my life at one point where I was like, screw it, I'm writing them anyways. I might as well try to make some money off them, even if it's only like pennies here and there.
Okay, so maybe it's not boring. Maybe it's normal.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I had a blog, and before that I had a notebook. You know what I'm saying? It's my high school years and my college years were spent. Yeah, exactly. I had a special, but mine were spiral bound because I have to turn everything and put it on one paper side for no reason. But I always had a notebook with me, and so, you know, when we were having lunch break or whatever, I was the one that was over there to myself writing instead of socializing. And so it's just something that has always been in my head. And a lot of times I've said that it's like, well, the characters just live there rent free, so they might as well pay rent. and therefore I'm trying to see what I can do with it. I also, because of college, got into writing journalistically too. And so I also do that. I've kind of put it to the side because I want to, you know, get these 2 series done. But I started writing on Medium too. and I was making a good paycheck there for a while. It was, now I know that they've changed their system up since I did that, so I'm going to have to get used to their system again. But yeah, I would have to write. I mean, I have to write for therapy. To me, it's like therapy. So
Mhm.
get it,
Same.
get it going.
Yeah. So I've done this several times. I've changed my why a lot. So when I first started writing, it was like middle school. You don't really have a why. It's fun. um, Same with high school too. It was fun for me.
Hmm.
I didn't really let anybody else read it. It was just for me. And then I hit college and it suddenly became I'm writing for mom. And since she passed away, it kind of set me for a loop again a little bit. But I've went back to it's fun. I'm writing for me. And I think honestly that is the best why to have is because it's fun. It's good for you. It's therapy. It's maybe going to buy you a coffee every now and then. And it's, yeah, whatever you want it to be, that's your why.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's great. It's great. It's great. Eva says, I came up with a new why. The I love it or I must or it's a passion doesn't work when life gets hard for me. So I try new things all the time. Right now it's content creation and you're good at it. Um, I
You
used,
study it. You study it, and you love studying it, so you know what you're doing. And uh,
yeah,
I kind of envy that, to be honest. That's great.
yeah.
Mhm.
I used to say because I loved it, then I said because I'm good at it, and then I said because it's fun. Those are all still true, but why spend time doing it when there's other things I could do? And money is a great motivator, but a dollar isn't really money when it's 100 hours of work to get there. That didn't work for me either. And is the question why you write or why to publish? It can technically be both, I guess. Um, Mine, I think, leaning more as to why you write, because
Mhm.
publishing is just a bonus, I
Yeah.
guess. Much like Sam, grief and trauma have changed my why a few times too. Yeah. Um, and it's a given. You go through different phases in life, and if you don't roll with those phases, then you're going to find yourself stuck. You're going to find yourself floundering and failing, and that's not fun. That's not a way to live life. So be prepared to change your why.
Mhm. I think I think for me personally, there were stories that I wanted to read, like types of stories, tropes I wanted to see in stories that I was not seeing, and I was like, well, let me write it for me instead. And it hit a point where, after a while, I met some people who were publishing their work, and they were like, "Why aren't you publishing it?" I was like, "I didn't know you could do that, but okay." And so the why I publish became, I think my the why I publish changes, because at one point I was like, I want this to be a career. I want to make money from it. And then I hit a point where I was like, I can't do this consistently enough to what is on market enough to make it a career. At least not in this point in my life. And so now it's back to, this is just fun for me. Publishing for a few pennies a month as a bonus. So like my why I publish changes quite often, almost daily at this point, it feels like sometimes. But the why I write itself is has not once ever changed, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I had the full-time job and everything, and I was having to do all of that juggling with the kids, the job, everything like that, that was more or less the situation where it was an escape. So, riding with my friends were that was an escape. And then, after COVID and we wound up, being able to work from home and things like that, that kind of changed the dynamic of things. And that's when I hit that point where I was like, oh, well, maybe I can do something with the writing and stuff. And honestly, when you're starting out, especially as a novelist, unless you get lucky, you're not going to make a lot of money at it. And so I was putting my effort into places where I could make money as well. And that's a different kind of writing. So when you're doing different kind of writing, then you set that up as almost your full-time job. And then you're still, struggling to get in the words on the side for your creative writing. And I've just come to a point now where I took my retirement stuff, and I am in a lucky position to where my husband can handle the bills, the main bills and stuff. So that's where I guess getting to this point is. I'm hoping that the long term will pay off, and we love to travel. So it's a matter of we're looking at the fact that we've taken the stats from the first 2 years, even though we had horrible health issues and that has slowed us down. But the stats from the first 2 years tell us that our side money makers and selling at events are our money makers. And therefore, we're looking at starting up next year with small events because we're not sure where people's money is going to be next year, because it's not, we don't have that perfect world where we're like, oh, people can afford to spend $15 for a book or whatever. Sometimes they're not going to be able to do that. But we're hoping that the economy kind of at some point will balance out so that we can be more confident in our sales. But at this time, it's kind of like, I'm really glad that he's got the work from home position that he's got so that we can have that for a backup.
Yeah. Definitely. Same with me, because Hubs takes care of most of our bills, and he works in sales. He's retail, and he works off of commission and the commission of his minions. I don't know why.
Which is amazing to me because I don't know where the shift happened, but at some point there was a shift wherein you can't make good money off of retail anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he got in on the right position in the right place.
It still boggles my mind because I'm like, there's not that many people in this area that need beds, right?
Well,
but apparently.
Apparently there are.
I mean, I guess it's one of those you have to have, because if you don't have a good bed, your back's going to hurt. You're not going to get sleep. So it becomes a necessity.
Yeah. And I've learned, like, there's been a couple of times where I've been in his store where he's trying to sell, and people will come in and they have just bought this brand new $80,000 truck, and they balk at buying a $4,000 bed.
Right.
How many hours are you spending in that truck versus how many hours are you spending in that bed?
Yep.
Now, I mean, if you're a driver as a profession, I get it. Get that $80,000 truck.
Well, see, here's their problem. They could show off the truck.
Exactly. They can't.
They don't show off the bed. But my thing is if you're cranky as heck, you're showing off the bed if you're cranky.
I mean, you can show off your bed, but
yeah,
some people like that for society.
That's a whole other episode.
I'm just saying. That's a different kind of content there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Get a good camera for that.
You're right. So, I said that to say that I'm with Rachel about doing events. I haven't done events before, but I've been to plenty of events myself. And I've sold on the craft side or the artist side, not necessarily the author side. But I am definitely bringing my husband with me because he has literally sold ice cream to an Eskimo or ice to an Eskimo. Both. Yeah. So he's coming with me, and I have to do that around his schedule.
We are the introverts. Our husbands are the extroverts.
Yes.
That's the reason he was like, so what do we need to do here and what do we need to do there? I was like, look, you love spreadsheets, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, just start writing down events, man, and just give us all the information, and you're going to be the marketer.
Yeah. For those of you who may not have this, here is a link to book festivals, and they're mostly all United States. So if you're interested, at least there's that.
And be sure to go to Eventry and then Eventbrite.
Yeah.
And oh gosh, well, I started going through local events because it doesn't have to have anything to do with a book. It can just have something to do with your genre and your theme of your books. There was one in Durham that Sam's books would have been absolutely perfect for, but it was already on by the time I got the information. And it was a Krampus themed thing, but it had the stuff that I believe her characters would love to get into, and they were accepting of authors. I was like, oh man, like I found out about it the day before.
I found out about a Charlotte book festival the day of, and I'm like, really?
But that's why the spreadsheet is so important. You just keep collecting them, and I do it by date, which you can adjust it, but yeah, that way we know we're not missing any. And if we find any more that we're interested in, we toss them up there, like the Geek and Grub, and that was something new that I'd never heard of. And then we went to Festival of Legends, and they had a booth, and I was like, oh, cool, and I thought it was literally just that, but it's not. They have things in Durham and Apex all the time, and in Charlotte, which Charlotte's a bit far for us, but
Charlotte's a bit, well, I don't like driving in Charlotte.
It is annoying. It's like Chapel Hill. If I can avoid driving in Chapel Hill, I will. They don't know what turn lanes it. Okay, I've gone too far. Sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong though.
No. So comments have disappeared up on the restream side, so I'm just going to read them.
Sorry.
YouTube. You're good. Eva says, honestly, most people are flailing too. Faking is not actually faking it. One cannot pretend to be good at something for very long without actually getting good at it. I like that.
I so agree with that.
For the longest time, I felt like everyone was saying fake it till you make it. And then at one point, everyone was like, I hate that term. And I'm like, why? It's such a good term. Because after a while, you're no longer faking it.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where you don't even realize you're no longer faking it. And it's just
it could be good, or it could turn into what she said.
It's whether or not you learn from the faking it.
Yes.
Okay.
Have to learn from everything. Eva says, my biggest hurdle is the why. Time and means have been available to me more often than not over the last 15 years, and you all have more books than I do. Still, you're doing it now, and you're comfortable with it now. So just remember that if you think not having to earn income all these years would have helped, sometimes it backfires. Yeah. Hey, Cat Paw. Cat Paw says, after the accident 10 years ago, it was the only thing I still could do. I'd written in so many ways since before I started school for fun and for work. I know why I'm flailing right now. I dread the relentless marketing, and it might be another thing that will sink without a ripple. But also, I write what I want to read, so I shouldn't expect others to like it.
If you like it, somebody likes it. There's more people out there that are like you that like it, though.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of making sure that you reach them. And when you start having feedback come to you, it's going to feel so good. I can tell you. It's like, oh, I've reached somebody, and it could just be like one or two people, and you're just like, oh, yay, they like it. And then word of mouth.
Mhm.
That's part of the reason a lot of authors, including traditional authors, will tell you that it's actually a waiting game. You do
Mhm.
stuff and you never know when you're going to get that 50% of luck, or the rest of it that you put all this effort into, where somebody's going to find it and they're going to say, share it with somebody else, or share it with a book club, or share it out and about, and just the right person gets hold of it. You go viral for some reason on a TikTok, and all of a sudden your sales blow up. And there's a lot of luck to it, but there's also, you're putting in the work to get it out there. And I mean, I get it. It can be frustrating sometimes, but for me, I'm just willing to put in the time, that I'm willing to be patient with it. I keep saying, if we can just get this, series done, if we can just get that series done, and then everything else should be a lot easier.
Just
So
building that backlog
just
until
building
I
the
can retire.
backlist.
All right. So Eva says marketing is a hard hurdle that has to be attempted, but my view, if you're writing a good story and producing a quality final product for readers, keep doing that. That's the marketing.
Yes.
Yep.
Backlogs are worth more if your time than social media marketing if you don't have a following yet.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, because think about it this way. When I first started it was 2016. I know that for a reason. But I started in October of 2016. And before the implosion on Twitter, I had over 6,000 followers. And
Wow.
that's, for me, a lot.
Mhm.
And it took a lot of curating and a lot of effort to make sure that I was getting, feedback, and I was getting a lot there. And then all of a sudden, the implosion happened, the change of branding happened. And the next thing you know, I dropped 2,000 followers in the course of 3 months. And then it just kept going down from there. And did I get a lot of sales from all of that work and effort, though? Not really. So I kind of tell people to kind of be on social media, have your presence on social media, but don't think that that's going to be it. That's going to be the perfect value. It doesn't translate to sales
Mhm.
all the time. It does not.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let me take the dog out because she's going to go crazy if I don't.
Okay.
I found that I actually did better at events. You guys were talking about local events. And when I was doing events, I actually, in the 2 years I was with the small publishing company that I was with back when I first started publishing, I made more. I was doing all of the online events. Like if there was an online event and I could get invited to it, I was there. I was doing social media, I was posting regularly and all that kind of stuff. But I found that in the 2 years I was with that small press, I actually made more money at events than I ever did in a lot online through
Mhm.
social media.
Yep.
Yeah. Social media is just you can swipe quicker
Mhm.
than your brain can realize what you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, yeah.
Yeah, that's part of why I wanted to also do the other channel, because it's like you can do content creation and actually get some decent money off of it. I've made money off of affiliate sales a lot of the time, and yeah, there's other baskets to put your eggs in.
Yeah. I like that. There's a sleazy salesman and then there's the hospitable salesman.
And I think that events also help us out, because as introverts, we are genuine.
Yeah.
So we come across as genuine because we're excited about our stories. We're excited about our characters. We are excited about what we've got coming up to do. And the people who are in front of us see that and feel
Mhm.
that. Whereas social media is very just, it's very bland for the most part.
Yeah. You can't see the soul in the eyes through social media. All right. Facebook tells me when events are near me I'd like due to my engagement with local-ish events. Also a great way to find and support indie bookshops and other small businesses. We can hate Meta, but we can use it to rule the world ourselves too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We have a Maggie. Are we back up on Restream here? Yes, we are. Okay, cool.
Restream, work with us, please.
Yeah. And yes, someone will like your story if you like it as a reader too.
Mm-hmm.
First advice, read the story start to end before you expect others to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Write what I love because I love it. Rushing will only lead to crashing. Patience is key. Like walk fast, but don't run.
Yeah.
Power walk. Get those buns in shape.
And remember to take a rest walk too, because that way you're mixing up your you're tricking your body according to the gurus now.
Maggie says, I wrote so much on Wattpad, then ink it before I ever published a single thing.
Y'all, I got to come back to that.
What?
Okay. I have had now 4 people tell me that me and Tina need to publish the stuff that we wrote in fan fiction. And I'm like, but it's all out there for you. It's all there. But they want something, a story made based on that.
Oh.
So Wattpad and ink it and what's it called? Well, there's fanfiction.com, but there's AOE. So all of that kind of stuff, even if you publish it out there for people to read up front, it can become something. So I'm still trying to decide if I want to do that or not.
More power to you. You do.
Well,
there's these things called Substacks.
Yeah.
There you go. Or Ko-fi.
Or Ko-fi. Patreon.
Yeah. Have your followers pay you to put those stories together.
I mean, I could make $20 a month, right? There's 4 of them.
Yeah, you could.
There you go.
You really want this?
Content creation is its own income stream more than marketing for sales on books. 100% agree. I'm so nervous and excited to try in-person events. Yes, same.
I've had so much fun with them, y'all.
Yeah. Good. Very good. I hated doing the art sales, but I loved it at the same time. So I'm expecting that it's going to be the same with my books, but it's probably going to be more love because it's my stuff, not like my friend's stuff. Sales are better there. 10 sales isn't a ton, but 10 sales in a weekend would be more than I've ever had in a weekend. Yes. Worst indie book I've ever read, and I'm bad with worst favorites, but I have an answer for the questions, was sold to me by a sleazy salesman author.
Ooh. So my one the one that I did DNF was sold to me by, and you're going to kill me, a Facebook ad.
What?
But it looked so pretty. And the idea behind it was so good. But if you can't write, or you can't get an editor, please don't publish.
The Facebook ads get me all the time, and now Facebook seems to think all I want is like erotica and smut when I'm trying to find everything but, because it keeps getting me. Because I'm like, ooh, this premise sounds interesting. And then I click on the book and it takes me to the Amazon page and it's like smut all the time, everywhere. I'm like, God damn it, again?
Well, mine's so like MM romance.
All I read. And I'm like, how do I change this?
Yeah.
Maybe the books I actually want to read.
Yeah. Apparently mine's in the whole alpha of Megaverse thing. Right? I keep getting these things popped up. I'm like,
Right.
I
And
haven't
I'm not
read any of
even into
these.
that. But see, the thing is, like, we barely touch on anything like that in our books because we treat alpha the Lycan hierarchy differently than those books.
Yeah.
But yet, because we've written them, that pops into mind all the time.
I haven't even written mine yet. I have Mist, which is a side story of the thing that I'm going to write that has werewolves and wolf shifters and vampires and stuff. I haven't even written it yet. And I'm still getting this stuff. It's like,
Facebook, why do you hate me?
right. I'm joining the others in that request that I don't even know the stories and haven't read fan fiction. But I always mention a bestie here, Twilight Smutty fanfic, where Eddie is often wherever fanfic is found. Yes. Yes. Started me, others telling me to publish what I wrote. The published versions are a lot different from the Waddy and Inky version.
Yeah. I'm still friends with the first person who ever asked me why I wasn't publishing my work, who I met in a restaurant randomly. She was the waitress, and she was getting ready to publish her first book at the same time. And she was like, why aren't you publishing? And I'm like, I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, Morgan.
That's a thing?
I have to tell you a story. Morgan got a free latte because she went into this funky coffee shop, and turns out the lady that was working the coffee shop has read our book.
Nice.
It was just completely random. So she had to tell us. She was so excited. She's like, "Oh, you've got to set up an event, Mom. You got to set up an event." And of course, Tina's like, well, she goes by Dawn on here, but she's like, not really, no, because I'm the one that pulls her out of the darkness, you know.
You will join me.
I'm sure the coffee shop has a corner that's dark.
I'm like, we made sure you had signed copies while you were here. Do something with them. She has no problem when she's here with me tag teaming the booths and stuff, but apparently she's still got that no. But I just thought that was great.
It is great.
For somebody that you don't know, or a place that you didn't realize that they know your books. It's like, that's cool.
Also, some people just want a print copy. It's your friends. Let's see. Maggie says the worst indie book I ever read was my friend's husband's book, and he had paid thousands to a vanity press for editing and story development, and had boxes of the book in their garage that they couldn't sell because it was so bad. Oh, God. We're hanging out with Rachel and Sam, and so the ads get confused.
It's all your fault.
No,
I got spent for days.
Look, it's magic.
Other Doom is where I learned how accessible publication had become. I had no idea. Yes, offer books for sale from local authors.
I told them we'll have to see. They're in Texas, so you know, somewhere near San Antonio, apparently. So
road trip. Just have Dawn use Billy as a salesman. Wait, never mind. How about taking Morgan instead?
That's what I'm saying. Morgan. So Morgan is actually more like, she's Morgan. Like, if you saw pictures of her, the girl could be a model, and her attitude embodies the Morgan in the books. That's how she wrote. That's how Dawn wrote her, was using her daughter as this character. Not all of it, but you know, the personality wise, she was using her, and the fact that she's tiny. So she was like, this is this character. Well, she dressed up as her, and she's going to be on the book cover for her own. And I was like, you take her dressed up as a vampire, half vampire,
Mm-hmm.
to everything. And she's nothing like her mom when it comes to being, she's an extrovert. So I was like, take her
Yeah.
and you'll be able to do it.
Yeah. Just be like, here, hold the book.
Yes. We even got them t-shirts that say, I'm not the author, I'm the booth babe. And so she could do that. And then we've got t-shirts that say, I'm the author and a booth babe. Buy one, get one.
Like I'm going to get the t-shirt that says emotional support husband, do not touch.
Yep. Well, see, I had stuff like that, but then mine wrote a book. So now he is an author.
Yep.
And he's got so many ideas for the books too. It's killing me.
There you go. During the huge popularity climb of indie authors in the last 10 years, there were so many young indie authors who thought they would be the next big trending book and they give up. Yeah.
It's just too fast. They don't, yeah.
Because they're trying to ride the
But you have to understand, I also took the idea that a lot of people say you should never publish your first book because you're going to get better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I did.
No.
But if I could have clipped that would have been a clip. Are you talking about magic?
I agree with the whole first book thing because that beast right there, it was so much heartache. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that I published it first because it was the prototype. I learned so much with publishing it that I carried over into the other books, and I'm still learning. They're still not perfect.
I did not publish my first book, but that's because my first book was written in a composition notebook that I no longer have. However, I do still like that idea, and I want to rewrite it to publish it. So,
To be fair, that's my story too. My mom got rid of a lot of my stuff, but yeah, but this book, I mean, this series is kind of based on
that idea.
The idea of that. I would say the series is maybe the second book, to be fair. Because like you said, like I had a full book manuscript in a notebook when I was in high school. And it was a pretty good, like, I didn't realize it was a good idea until things started happening in this country that actually mirrored what was written in the book. And I was like, oh, that would have been some good fiction. I could have been the next Margaret Atwood, maybe. I don't know. But never mind now.
Oh, gosh. I knew an author who followed a book writer's marketing plan, and by the time her book launched, everyone felt like they had already read it.
And that's what I worry about with people with their blurbs. They tend to give a little too much with their blurb. And I'm like, no, tease. Don't give them everything. Tease.
So I want to share because of reason. Emotional support human. I do call him that too. She knows everything about Makosa and Relic of Time. Yep. About that big old beast. Haven't read it yet. Just don't. Just So my mastermind group is currently reading The Beast because they're trying to push me to edit the second book.
Okay.
And she's like, I don't know why you bemoan this book so much. She's like, yeah, there's a lot of characters and sometimes it's hard to follow those characters, but it's good. And I'm like, no. No. You're lying to me.
It probably is like I've got it back here, but I haven't read it yet. I've skipped and read your other books instead. But yeah, the thing is you are probably always, I hate to say this, but you're probably always going to have that opinion because it's your first one. And no matter how much praise you get, you're going to be like, but I know I messed up. I know I saw it, you know, but at the same time, you know, at least take the praise. They liked it. So, oh, cool. I'm glad you liked it. At some point, try to take the praise.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm terrible at taking praise anyway, so it's just like, okay, I love you.
Oh, hon, it took me, I was in my 40s before I started allowing myself to take praise. That's so much Southern raising right there, I think.
Mm-hmm. My husband, for the longest, after he said anything that was remotely positive in my direction, he looked at me and he's like, take it, damn it. I'm like, okay.
I
I write a million words and start rewriting and start the publishing process. My first published series was written in a series that I wrote as a dare for July Camp Nano. Rita says, my first book I wrote was a slasher book in high school, but everyone was killed, but the MC and her boyfriend is so bad.
But it's a slasher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of supposed to be a little bit campy and bad.
Yeah. You do not have the worst blurb.
I was on my stream last night. At one point, we were talking about blurbs because we were talking about the fact that I have to write blurbs for different various things. And I mentioned the fact that I pretty much use How to Write a Sizzling Synopsis by Brian Cohen as like my framework for every and all blurbs, because there's books out there making hundreds and thousands of dollars almost daily that use that formula. And I was like, it's tried and true. I'm going to keep using it until it no longer works.
Now, I use some of his tips when I do blurbs. So, yeah, he's got a good formula down. I just change a few things up depending on the genre. Yep. So sometimes you just need to make sure that you're changing stuff up for genre expectations. But otherwise, yeah, he's good. And like there's been Alexa Dunn, she had a really good how-to on blurbs that I took to heart too when I was learning myself. And I've always told people, it's like, I'm no expert, but I'm the one that will look at the back of a book and go, I can't believe you just told me half of everything that happened in this book. And now I don't really want to read it. And I guess that's what got me started on doing blurbs, because I was like, please don't tell me everything that's going to happen in this book. I want to read what's happening in the book.
Yeah. Now, your blurb is not your query letter. The query is where you tell everything that happens, not your blurb.
There's a summary, there's a tagline, there's a blurb, there's an elevator pitch, there's a series blurb, and your query letter has the summary? Is that what? I've never done a query letter.
Yeah, your query letter has basically a summary, but you're supposed to really highlight the main character and the important side characters, and
they want to know.
Yeah, they want to know everything.
I've had to explain that to people. It's like, no, they're trying to decide if they can make money off of selling your idea. Therefore, they have to know everything.
Yep.
Your possible readers who are reading your blurb don't need that. So,
yeah.
I don't know if it's an accurate interpretation of what a query letter is, but in my mind, a query letter is a summary of your outline. The entire outline.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. That's what I've heard. Like I said, I've never written one, and part of the reason that I went indie in the first place is because I had more than one traditional author tell me indie's the way to go, because they made more money and they had more interaction with their readers, which they loved when they did indie publishing.
Yeah. Writing of anyone, I can't write my own blurbs, but for anyone else, not a problem. Makes note to take notes while reading the giant book. If I ever read, don't read the giant book.
I just redid the blurb on book 1 again.
See, Rita, it sounds fun. And yeah, you can always turn it
Yeah.
into vampire.
Making fun of the trope of the slasher genre.
Do you know how many millions Scary Movie made?
Yeah.
And what I like
You know
to
how
think of is
millions
like,
Mel Brooks made making fun of other movies?
and I think about it this way too, like there, some of the worst story ideas have gotten published, like that. We're not even gonna talk about which ones, but not even going from that. I saw an ad the other day, and I'm like, because we're talking about the horror genre. They're making another Sharknado movie, and I'm like, why? Like, but at the same time, I'm like, they saw they could make money, and they ran with it, and I'm here for that.
And it is such satire and such goofiness that they get A-list stars interested. That's
Just
what
because
kills
you
me.
can, Hollywood, doesn't mean that you should.
So true. So true.
So whenever I think that this is a bad story idea, I just remember that, and I'm like, Sharknado exists. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. I know what I'm doing.
I don't think I've even watched it
somewhere.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Y'all can praise me or hate me. I'll overthink it all anyway. Same.
Oh yeah.
So should we praise Sam early and make her okay with? No, we should not. As I read, just smile and say thank you. I'm still working on it too. Yeah. Sounds like the cringe 80s horror that probably be hot again today. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I may just dive back into it next year and multitask all my books. Yes.
And remember, Drew Barrymore knew what she was doing when she went into the whole situation with Scream. She knew she was only going to be there for the first 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So they went into it knowing it was just a marketing play.
Yep.
And it's a slasher.
Yep. Elevator pitches. I hope to query next year and have already had an agent and author on TikTok offer to help me despite not knowing her from Adam. Nice. What Sam said about the query letter. Also attention to the story hooks and exciting incident relationships to ending climax. Yeah. For me, indie was the way to go because I'm a genre slut. Okay, so like the genre for these: dark, romantic, comedy, fantasy. I don't think I can do that trad.
Well, for me, it's more like for traditional publishers and agents, they want a specific way, a plotting tool, a specific formula. We just wrote the stories, man. We didn't go by any specific formula. So even now, I've like Frankensteined a plotting tool together so that at least the series will have specific beats to it. But that's so far off from the standard that I doubt they will ever. It would amaze me if they had ever gotten picked up. So that's part of it too. It's like, and also I can go back and redo things.
Yeah.
If I decide that we need to redo something, I can go back and redo it, and I don't have to worry about anybody else owning my stuff.
Yeah.
My first series that I ever published, I'm actually probably going to be doing that. The first two are out. I have first drafts of the second two, but my writing has changed so much over the years that I keep looking at them, and I keep looking at those first two books going, if I do the second two books now, it's going to feel like a completely different series. So I've been debating going back and redoing the first two to update them, and then just going through the rest
what we did, to be honest. We had, and I had a freaking editor, believe it or not. For book one, I did have an editor, but apparently they were toasted or something. I don't know. But there was so much that was actually missed. And also as a newbie writer, I kind of leaned on the editor, not knowing that you should never lean on the editor.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, if you want to go back and redo it, I say go for it,
Mhm.
because we were able to get rid of a bunch of extraneous stuff that wasn't necessary. None of it was necessary to the plot. And we got it so that people are actually focused on what's important. And I think that it improved. And you're right. Like, if I had done book 3, 4, and 5 and not gone back and redone book 1 and 2, it would have been like, oh, completely different people wrote this.
Mm-hmm.
That's how different it was.
I'd be getting accused of AI because they're so different.
Right?
I promise I wrote them just 10 years apart.
And it's not perfectionism to me. It was more of a, just that we had gotten better, and we had gotten more help with the others. We had beta readers and a new editor who actually loves, all of them love our characters, and therefore they're doing their best to make sure that the book turns out really good, instead of hiring somebody that doesn't really care, except for doing their basic job. So that's where it plays out, not being too much of a perfectionist, because I don't want to go back and redo them again. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
now they flow.
Yeah. And this right here.
Which one? What?
That one. Raise your hand if you never want to see another remake of a good classic movie.
Leave it alone.
You're right.
Stop touching things that don't need to be touched. Dang it.
If you touch Princess Bride, we're all rioting.
The only remake of Princess Bride I will accept is a Muppets version.
Okay,
That's the only
that's
exception.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else? No thanks.
Mm-hmm. Sharknado Twilight.
I'm just over the dark.
Featuring the gremlins.
Oh God.
On Sparkling Sparks.
The chaos that would ensue.
Being a gracious receiver is a virtue our society has made dishonorable as part
Yes.
of the machine's design. Yep. Those who accept things are often labeled lazy, mooches, beggars, etc., or are in crisis. What a world that we must be in crisis, or have awful character to lean on our community. Yeah,
And
accept your praise. Like
and
that might work.
I feel like at the
There you
same
go.
time we've been trained all our lives that if we accept help, we're not good people
We're weak.
for the
Yeah.
same reasons too.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't be prideful. You can't be weak.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. But you can't be manly either if you're a lady. You have to lean on your man. Whatever.
I want to be strong. Like woman in woods. Leave me alone.
And break you like sparrow echo between thigh.
Exactly.
When I got told in 2018 I should turn Jackson and Mitch into a hetero couple to have any success, yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
no. And see,
thank
that
you.
too, like, our main characters, I'm just like, what? No, we can't change this. That's, no.
Mhm.
Largros, that always was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
That part was always supposed to happen. He will end up as, well, he's going to be in a throuple both ways in the future. But the idea that, oh, well, that's just not going to work. That's, male and male, that makes me
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Well, it may make you uncomfortable, but there's lots of people who don't mind that at all, and it's part of life. So,
Mhm. Get over it. We're
and
doing
now I walk into Barnes and Noble, and there's a whole freaking table of traditionally published books that have LGBTQ main characters in it.
Yep.
Because now
So,
it's a I don't this is going to come across as harsh, but I feel like having LGBT main characters in your book has become a fad. it feels like it.
I feel like some of them are. I mean, think about, but all of them are. Okay. So a lot of authors are publishing to market.
Mhm.
They're not creating their characters because they love their characters or they love their story. They're like, "Oh, this is going to make me money, so I need to write this."
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's, I feel like a lot of times that LGBTQ stuff has fallen into that trap.
Mhm.
And that's what makes it hard for people who are, they were writing it anyway, you
Yeah.
know.
I recently started following a TikTok person. She was talking about couples. She was talking about movies, and she was talking about couples in rom-coms that would not be together still after like the movie ends. And I was like, I need this, but in book form, because there is so much that is true for it in book form. Like these couples would not still be together because they just would not work.
Mm-mm.
How about the ones that shouldn't be together to begin with? That
That
it
too.
was pretty obvious that they shoved them together.
Mhm.
There was absolutely no chemistry between them. There was more chemistry between the random person in the
Oh,
street.
I watch Cinema Therapy sometimes, and those two guys, like, he'll therapize what's going on, and he did one recently that was like rom-com couples that you may have thought were cute, but are actually very toxic.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, this is so true.
I'll be over here going to find that now. Because I need to see this and see if I agree.
You're right.
I feel like I will.
There were several of them that I was like, you are so right about that. And back when I first watched the movie, I was just like totally on board. But the way he breaks it down, I was like, oh, you're so right.
There's some movies I love that I absolutely realize that those couples are toxic or would not last. Like, yes, it's cute, it's perfect for the movie, it's a great ending. They're never going to be a real couple in real life. They would be divorced like that.
Yep. I like this. My
Okay.
husband, I wear the pants. She tells me which ones and when to put them on.
Yep.
That's my household right there.
Sharkmore. Mer people but like human bottom shark tops.
There's a comic book character like that.
There.
There is.
Shark burn with merfolk. Human origins. Which religions? Seeing it after not seeing it makes it appear as a fad. It's not. It's evolution.
So sometimes it is. I agree totally, but I'm just saying, Skye's right in that sometimes people are writing to market.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's also the fear of not being seen as inclusive too. That I think a lot of authors
drive
are
it.
writing it because of that. Women in publishing is such a fad.
I have a gripe that I can claim about traditional publishing right now. Want to hear it?
Sure.
Since we're stepping up on soapboxes.
Yeah.
Okay. My that indie publishing comes up with these really great ideas, both with their covers and their marketing and the way that they do things, and then all of a sudden turn around and traditional publishing is taking that idea and running with it. Why? It's like we already don't have the big bucks behind us. Thanks. Now you're going to take this from us too. And
Mhm.
I say that about certain book covers. I say that about the painted edges. That's something that was on one side, and then traditionals. Now you go into Barnes and Noble and almost every book has freaking painted edges on it.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Right.
doing the stuff in the back of the book, and there's just like stuff that used to be something that indie authors could give you that traditional authors could not give you, and now it's everywhere.
Mhm. Yep.
Special artwork.
Yep. See, there are several books that I have seen that are LGBT couples that read like they were hetero and they just changed the names and pronouns.
Mm-hmm. Can't darn.
I mean, it's like pin the tail on the donkey. I mean, we could do that.
Men writing women. I mean, I guess it could be around as women writing men too, but
Mhm.
I haven't seen as many. Like, there's a whole freaking Reddit and everything for the other one.
Yep. Yeah. There's always bad people ruining good things. Labeling the constant inclusion a fad hurts my heart, though. It should be so common it's weird to see a book without it. Yes.
Agreed.
I like that.
Yeah.
That. Yes.
Oh
it
yeah,
was very
definitely.
That was one of them, I think.
One of my favorite.
There was one in Love Actually, I think, too. There was
Yeah.
a couple of them that he mentioned.
Probably. One of my favorite movies I recognize is 27 Dresses. And I'm like, they were absolutely not right for each other
No.
at all.
Nope.
Doesn't stop me from liking the movie, though.
I've critiqued, read, and edited drafts with insert queer characters the authors didn't realize because they aren't queer. This is why sensitivity readers and beta readers are necessary. Yes. Also, writing an obligatory gay side character is so wrong when they are just paper dolls made from gay party paper. Oh, wow. Yeah. If only
Some
the
of
disabled characters are trending.
some
Go
of
ahead.
mine are amalgamations of different gay guys that I've met in different places, and so it's kind of like if anybody were to approach me, I'd be like, that's kind of mean because I know the person that
Mhm.
character is made after.
Mhm. I've also come across your indigenous. Why don't you write stories about reservation life?
What?
Wow.
That's like a
Yeah.
slap in the face. Thanks.
Yeah. There's a whole thing about women fetishizing gay men in indie books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It's like the promotional groups that I've tried, that I've gone into to check out and stuff. I have seen that a lot. So yeah, you kind of got to be careful.
Real life is like that, though. People generally fall in love with the wrong people. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Hence why they divorce afterwards, usually. Not every relationship is a
God.
Look, I can also tell you that cinema therapy, he forced himself to watch those movies.
Oh dear.
Oh
Okay.
gosh. No.
And he had a list bigger than mine about that.
Oh my goodness.
So it was wild.
No. Well, she maybe shoot. I don't know. She gets more and more depraved.
I have read some good short stories recently that include disabled or chronically ill characters, and you can definitely tell that they were written by people who understand the situation.
No.
And I really appreciated that. One of them was By the Way, I Love You. It was an anthology.
Fourth
Wing, yeah. There's.
I haven't even tried.
Itself.
I refuse. As much as I love dragons, as much as I would love being able to say I will read any and all dragon books, I refuse to read that series. No, thank you.
I love the dragons. The dragons were awesome in it. Absolutely adore those. I like the characterization of some of the characters. The side characters. The few that, remain true to themselves, actually. But, yeah, there's a lot of There's a lot of wishy-washy in those books.
Oh dear.
So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just not read them. I'm like, I don't have time to read y'all stuff.
Yeah.
And there's people that are going through trying to collect every single one. And who's the one that's got the multiple covers, the book covers? One of them's got multiple book covers. It's not Yaros, is it? It's the other one. Moss.
Moss, yeah. Moss has a lot of book covers. I have all of Moss's books just because, again,
How's that? Like I've not read them, so I'm curious.
So I like them as a fun read. I don't like them as a study.
Oh,
If that makes sense.
Makes
sense. So to me, the world is okay. Better in the Throne of Glass series than the Court series. The Court series is just smut to be smut. Throne of Glass is better in my opinion. But the main character is, it's almost like reading a Mary Sue. And the side characters are kind of just fodder for her. There's no like real substance there. It feels like. Now, the court characters in the later books, well, I can't even really say that. Some of the side characters in like book 2 to 4 in the court series are really, really good. Like I would skip to their chapters half the time to read more about them than the main characters. But yeah, it's a fun read. Don't pick them up to study. I don't know. Kona's doing weird things. She's like standing in the doorway. Sorry.
Or
that's the reason I had to let mine out.
Or do pick them up to study, because apparently that's what sells these days.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea, but
same.
If you're writing to market.
Yep. It's almost like reading webtoons. Like they're not 100% polished and the characters aren't 100% themselves. Like they still kind of mesh around and learn, and they don't have the arc that you think that they're going to have, because all of a sudden they veer over and now they're the main character's lapdogs. That's just my opinion though. Still looking for someone to write a Fourth Wing fanfic where Violet runs away from the Dragon War College to become a scribe. Yeah. Or her dad ends up being alive in secret. That would be good too. What's his address? Sell $5 back.
I love those kind of sales.
Yeah.
I've got a whole bag behind me because of that.
Yeah. I DNF'd the first book 4 times and just read the ending. Never read 2 or 3. Is 3 out?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
that was a big controversy because they were rushing it. I think that's what I heard.
Which one was the one that was released on shelves like a week before it was actually supposed to come out? Was that Fourth Wing or was it the third book? There was some kind of controversy where stores were putting it on shelves a week earlier than it was supposed to come out. And I thought it was the third book, but now I'm questioning that.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see.
I like how we're all just Googling this now.
I'm not. Y'all have fun.
Yeah, it might have been Onyx Storm because I honestly didn't realize that it was out. I should have, because I probably saw it.
I just saw an article about the fact that they rushed getting this out. And I was thinking, why would you? I mean, you could have just waited for the holiday season, honestly, this year, but okay.
Yeah.
Maggie says it was Onyx Storm, which is book 3.
Yeah. Currently reading in any fantasy and loving it. Nice. I have read the book to get the world down, and I don't want to. I get nervous, y'all. Not gonna lie. I get nervous when I read a book of someone I sort of kind of know. I get that.
Don't tell me you're reading your book. I don't want to know.
The whole multi-book cover and multi-sprayed edges is just a marketing thing to sell dead tree trophies. No one actually reads.
Right?
You know, the Peanuts teacher, how they talk, that's how battle scenes, highly descriptive scenes, and sex scenes read to me while reading books.
Ah.
So I wouldn't care about the quality of those scenes. Review
You
content.
need skippables.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly don't like giving reviews. I really don't, because of traditional books.
I read for the vibes.
Yeah. It's just not my thing, because I don't know why. Unless I really, really love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather spend my time reviewing indie books, which I need to read more of, apparently. I don't know why I got on Fourth Wing other than it was like a present. Here, read this. And it's like, ooh, Pretty Dragons. And start reading it. Oh, this is crap. I kept reading it. I don't know why.
You like those characters. And you were like, I'm going to follow this character.
Yeah. And I probably will read Onyx Storm just because I want to know what happens to the two dragons.
90% of the time I read indie books, and I can't even remember the last time I read a trad book. What was the last trad book I read? I don't even know.
The only trad books that I've been reading are craft books.
Yeah. Yeah. Akatar was the worst DNF because the backstory of the MC does not fit with her ridiculous personality. Exactly. So apparently Dave Eggers' book, The Every, has 32 unique book covers by different artists.
Wow. Overkill?
A little bit.
It means that you can put yourself in debt just to buy one book.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to collect them.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's like comic books have variants, but the publisher specifically goes after those particular artists to create those variants, and there's usually 4 tops, maybe. And then the ones that you can draw on, of course, or have the artist draw on that you want. Traditional books should do that. 4 tops. There's a reason the MMCs and SCs are more popular than the FMC. Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We were talking about the why, and then we came out.
This is where we ended up.
Look, you don't get us together without us whirling somewhere. And if you got to ask a question, and then we'll focus. But if there's no question up there, we're like,
yeah.
It's open.
Topic, and then this topic.
Open topics.
Majority of the male characters in the Court series, yeah. And there was only one male character that I liked in the Throne of Glass series, too. Maybe the publisher didn't have anything else that was expected to sell well that month. Maybe. That's relieving. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 dragons. Fourth Wing sold so many, and Sam says it's bad. Makes not about Sam saying her own book was bad. My book is terrible compared to that one too, so it's okay. You don't have to read the monster. The only reason I would want to have different book covers is if the book had multiple endings, just because it would be funny to watch a fandom arguing about the ending before everyone realized. Have you talked to my husband? He's had this idea, and he's wanting me to write it so bad.
The book with 10 different endings, and all 10 books have different covers too.
I saw I saw a TikTok the other day that I just died laughing over it. It was an author talking to Satan, and he was talking about, well, how exactly do I get get all the attention on my book and everything? And he's like, well, here's what you do: you make 10 different you make 10 different endings, and you just put them out there and let people randomly find them, and then they start talking about your book, and then they realize, wait, what do you mean it ended that way? No, it didn't. It ended this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then after everybody figures it out, release the 11th.
That is so mean. I love it.
Yeah.
No. Remember having to tell a librarian that Court of Thorns and Roses and Throne of Glass should not be anywhere near each other. Yeah. $16. Check out the ACOTAR. Yeah, for real.
Right.
Ooh. Not from what I've heard.
So, I actually did have that discussion with someone the other day. I was talking about the fact that Throne of Glass is geared towards young adults, but Court of Thorns and Roses, ACOTAR, is definitely adult. It's adult, and yet because they're in the same world, they're often shelved together. At least in bookstores near me. I don't know about you guys, but bookstores near me have them in. They are in young adult. Why the is ACOTAR in young adult?
But here's the thing: we were walking through Barnes and Noble the other day, and on the cover of the book, or on the blurb, the back part of one of the books, it was in YA. It was definitely supposed to be in YA, but it was talking about the spiciness of the book, and I'm like, here's the thing: YA is so confusing to me because it says young adult, which to me is like 19 up, but it gets geared toward teenagers.
Yeah.
16 and up, sometimes younger. And this is coming from somebody who's not exactly into censorship. Hell, I was reading Stephen King's It at 11. So,
viewer discretion advised.
Right. I'm just saying, like, can we have a full separation there for parents who are like, hey, I don't think that kind of a scene should be in books over here. Because if the scene makes me blush, maybe I don't want to know that my daughter of 13 got hold of it.
The PG-13 to rated R to rated XXX. We need that for books too. Just proves perfection doesn't sell. Look at the massive bestsellers of the last decade. Some really suck. Yep. That's why Captives, Collective them. Yeah. Sorry, I can't read words today. 10-year-old son read Game of Thrones.
Because of dragons. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I've had people walk up to me and ask about our books because the covers are so interesting, and they're just like, oh, there's a werewolf on there, there's an elf on there, and I'm just like, maybe not. even though our so-called spicy scenes up to that point really aren't overly spicy compared to some. It's still to me, it's an adult themed book, so no.
Well, Game of Thrones has so much gore in it too that a 10-year-old reading that along with the spice that's in those books is just, I don't know. I mean, me as a 10-year-old, I kind of read those books a little bit, sort of. I watched the movies because my brother was into horror films at the time and all of those in between.
And what is this whole thing? And this has been going on for generations, because I've experienced the same thing. My grandparents and my mother were, and James can say the same thing about his mom. completely into horror. Didn't care if the kids walked through or not. Didn't care if the kids were sitting there watching it, as long as it was horror. But the moment a sex scene came up,
Yep.
how dare you get away? You don't want to see that. I'm like, you're literally letting me watch somebody get impaled, and
we're okay letting everyone experience violence, but Lord forbid someone takes their clothes off. I mentioned to my husband the other day that I'm still salty about the fact that in movies we're okay with female nudity, full frontal and backward female nudity, but we can't have male nudity. I'm like, I want some eye candy too, please. Thank you very much. Sometimes.
Honestly, my mom and dad didn't really care. They watched whatever movies they wanted to watch, and if I was in the room, fine. So that is probably a reason why my parents are just a little tad bit different. But my grandparents, yes, they were definitely like that. The whole Days of Our Lives moment where Mama covered my eyes and ears. Really?
Days of Our Lives?
Yeah.
I kind of think that was the only thing that was allowed in my childhood. My mom would watch General Hospital and One Life to Live, and she didn't care if I was in there or not.
Yeah.
You don't like it, you can leave the room, kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I was hooked on it too. Are you kidding me?
And teens either have sex or choose not to have sex. If there's a teen unaware of sex, they aren't allowed at libraries without their pastor.
Okay.
My whole thought of the whole thing, and this is just me as a parent, was I want my kids to know as much as possible so that they don't get taken advantage of. So, and we also had a moment with our eldest child in like first grade that taught me the lesson really quick up front, because he didn't understand the difference between the words sex and love. And he got in trouble because he meant one and he said the other. So we had to have a whole deeper discussion about the situation so that he didn't get in trouble.
Oh dear. Nice.
And this is like a little first grader. He definitely didn't mean it.
Oops.
I have seen a spicy in libraries.
Same. We going back to the ACOTAR thing. ACOTAR is definitely in my library. So is Game of Thrones, and those. I won't go as far as to say Game of Thrones is spicy. Yes, there's sex scenes, but I don't feel like it's the same type of sex scenes because they're meant for shock and horror versus the spicy that we usually mean when we talk about spicy scenes is like, ooh, baby.
I get it. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
There used to be like a back corner section that had all of that stuff.
They had romance books in there.
Yeah.
And some of
there's a section of Harlequin. I mean, come on.
You can't say that those don't get spicy sometimes.
Oh.
Most of the time.
Also, bookstores in the drive to sell books by popular authors always shelve them together regardless of spice level or genre. Yeah. Sex on the page. Not sure I've ever seen a spicy cover at the library.
A spicy cover?
I was gonna say I do. Eva mentioned having since we were on the topic of multiple covers, she mentioned something about there being the discrete cover versus another cover, and I do like that. As much as I don't like multiple covers, I do like the idea of the discrete cover versus the traditional cover, I guess you could say, with books.
I don't know. I'll have to go check out the romance section, I guess, and now I'll look for where these series are shelved to. No idea, haven't read them. Tried the Game of Thrones book 1, but we owned it. Close one eye. When adult content was on the screen, yeah. And then wonder why kids don't know being groomed is bad.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that came up like when my kids were growing up that I was glad that we made that decision to let them know about stuff like that, because
Mhm.
there were there's just a lot. I don't
Yeah.
think it's probably for this show, but
Yeah.
things that other kids didn't realize were problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That.
It's right here. Eva couldn't watch Three Stooges, The Simpsons, or MTV until preteen. Then I had much more freedom, was much more.
Mm-hmm.
Buck Rogers, Star Trek, and Battlestar Galactica got censored for sci-fi.
Right?
Really?
Did that. I so
I did
hate
not
it.
know that.
Yeah. Think cable TV when the movie channels after dark pushed Mixie back into the closet. Yeah. Toxic Males, talk 1960s to 1990s romance book club novel. Yeah. And the
Oh
movie,
wow.
the movies too.
Yep.
Another topic, another show.
Yeah.
I pre-read so many books before my tween and teen girls because things like that. Here we go. Boost cat paw.
There you go.
Yeah. I snuck into the Crying Game movie with friends. Yeah, I just don't remember being censored as a kid, really. The only, I mean, it was real life. Like, you don't need to talk to that person. Go that way. I mean, we paid, but we lied about our ages to be 13. We were 12. Yeah. There we go. All right.
Making connections on Breaking the Block. There we go.
Exactly. That's what we're here for. Since we've went off the rails and only answered one question.
We never got to a second one, did we?
No, we didn't. So we will have next time. What do you do when your creative work is no longer a refuge or an outlet? And what is your go-to to get rid of doubting yourself? And how do you get over the fear of failing or fear of being popular? So yeah, maybe we'll get to all of those. Maybe just one.
Depends. Depends on what trail we just meander down.
Right.
Because we're having fun too. So.
Yes, exactly. Crying Game features a transgender on screen for those unaware. Mm-hmm. I was in college when the Crying Game came out. I don't know. Huh. I'll have to check this movie out. I don't remember if I've seen it or not, to tell you the honest truth. James says my only censorship as a kid was for Triple X. I remember my mom nearly killing herself tripping over the table to turn off the video on the screen.
I can see that happening too. Meanwhile, she's like, Slivis, yeah, you can watch that.
Yes, have a safe and happy turkey dinner this week if you're celebrating the American tradition. Started talking about writing hurdles, indie books versus trad books, and marketing mayhem. Be around if anyone needs messenger inbox chats during the holiday weekend. Shop small or not at all.
Yes, please. Please.
All right. So y'all want to do your outros?
Go ahead, Skye.
Okay.
We'll do the same loop.
Same order? Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Skye. I am a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance. I am SD Higgins. And I stream on Saturday evenings at 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 11:30 Eastern Time. And so I'm really tired because I was up really late last night and then back here in the morning. Woo! And I am going on hiatus completely in December. And the only thing that you will see from me is a post on my community tab every once in a while. So, yay. But I'm gearing up for stuff so that I can have consistent content in 2026, hopefully. So, that's the whole plan, at least. We'll see what actually happens. Yeah, that's me.
Awesome. I am Rachel D. Adams, and I am similarly going through a time in AuthorTube life where I'm trying to decide what my programming is going to be. I've got polls up on my YouTube channel, so please hit those up. I want to get your opinions too. I want to decide what goes where when it comes to my two. Now I've got two channels on YouTube, and I'm going to try to make a go of both of them. So I really appreciate any feedback that you have. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe.
Awesome. I just dropped a link to y'all's channels. Everybody's links are in the description box on the YouTube side. I will go back and add it to the Twitch side as soon as we're through here. And thank you for another episode of Breaking the Block and us going off on weird little tangents here and there. We will be back next Sunday at 11 a.m. To have more weird little tangents and maybe answer 2 questions, maybe, possibly. But we'll see y'all later. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Bye.